Diane Edwards got the maximum point, 65, ahead of Stretford.
The men's 400 metres, and what an unusual name in the lineup. John Regis, world bronze medalist and United Kingdom record holder over 200 metres, facing a whole lap of the track for the first time in his career. He's actually run for his club Belgrave in relays before, but he's never done the individual event, and he has admitted that he's really dreading it. Regis, the 21-year-old. A lot of people in the sport think that he has a real future in this event, despite the fact that he doesn't really fancy competing in it at all. And what a start he's made there in that dramatic yellow and maroon outfit, watched by Derek Redmond. He'll be hoping there's enough competition in his event without John Regis putting in a good performance here. But he'll be very interested, as indeed the whole of athletics will be, to see how well he does here, and he is doing extraordinarily well. The first 200 metres, he really has decimated the rest of the field. Looking very smooth, but this is where it'll start to hurt now. This is where he's in new territory for him, but look at the gap over the rest of the athletes behind him. Kermit Bentham, Steve Thomas trailing in his wake, as indeed the rest are as well. It's going to be a good time as well in these windy conditions. 46.58. Well, he may not fancy the event, but the event could be right for him. Steve Thomas was second, incidentally, and Kermit Bentham third. And that's a very revealing performance, I think, by John Regis. He would certainly have a future if he wanted it over 400. The men's 1,500 metres, and they move into the back straight for the final time.
And Wolves third, with just the 4x400 metres relay left.
Well, the leading positions may have been sorted out, but pride is still very much at stake here in this men's 4x400 metre relay, the final track event in the Gold Cup competition. We've just seen the first leg, and Birchfield Harriers in the black here with a very strong lineup, despite the fact that Derek Redmond is sitting in the stands watching, suffering a bit of a reaction to his run in Brussels on Friday night, and Phil Brown also, who they would normally call upon, isn't in the team. Haringay here also have a strong lineup. Ricky Daniel running the second leg for them. Les Antoine, the second leg for Birchfield Harriers. Shaftesbury also in the picture, and Belgrave.
Fine run here by Ricky Daniel. Just coming up, Birchfield and Haringay have seen neck and neck, quite a contrast here. Steve Thomas will take over for Birchfield and Paul Malcolm for Haringay. Interesting, Jamie Henderson ran a 400-metre relay leg for Edinburgh Southern, though they're well back out of it at the moment. Birchfield and Haringay, then Belgrave and Shaftesbury.
And the crowd is ever really enjoying this contest, because although, as we say, Haringay are confirmed as cup holders for the second successive year, they almost had a trip and lost points there, which wouldn't have mattered in the final outcome, but with all the spectators, coaches, officials, mums and dads and relatives watching in the stand, everybody wants to really lay it on in this final event. Club athletics at its finest here, and many of these guys may never be seen on your television screens again, but this is their moment of glory. And Birchfield with a big lead as Mark Thomas takes over for the final leg for them.
We just saw a magnificent run by Elliot Bunny. He really took Edinburgh Southern up into good points and good place, and Dave Clark's taken over. But that's some way back. There's Dave Clark, who ran so well also in the 200 metres, now up into third place after Bunny's magnificent run. Belgrave then in fourth, Wolverhampton and Bilston behind them. Shaftesbury next, but up front, it's the big two, Birchfield and Haringay. Mark Thomas leading ahead of Gary Cadogan.
Well, Haringay would very much like to round off their victory in the Gold Cup in style by taking the full points here in this 400 relay, but Birchfield, Mark Thomas is holding on under pressure from Gary Cadogan, and Birchfield win the relay. Haringay takes second place, and Steve Hurd bringing Wolverhampton and Bilston home in third. Very competitive race then. One or two surprise names in there, like Elliot Bunny, as Peter mentioned, that you wouldn't have expected to be seen in this event, and Jamie Henderson there in the background, but it all came out well in the wash, and it was a very good race indeed. And victory for Birchfield Harriers, to the huge delight of the watching Derek Redmond, I'm sure, in the stand.
But Haringay completed the league and cup double, their third successive win and sixth in 10 years in the cup. They were followed by three previous winners, Shaftesbury Barnet Harriers, Wolverhampton and Bilston, and Birchfield.
The Gold Cup decided that.